Welcome to the workshop. My name is Lisa Kroll and I am an NSCC English as an Additional Language Support Specialist. In this workshop, we'll be talking about common writing errors. At the end of the session, there will be some resources that will help you continue to improve your language and writing skills. Let's get started. Our objectives for this workshop are to examine some common writing errors, including being vague or not clear and specific enough, inconsistencies, and wordiness. We will also explore how to avoid these errors. One common error in writing is being vague, which means not clear or specific enough. So what is being vague in writing? Strong writing is clear writing. Its point or purpose is unmistakable, and it provides the reader with the right amount of detail. Vague writing is unclear, often with general language and a lack of structure, leaving the reader with more questions than answers, and therefore vague writing should be avoided. Let's look at some examples of vague writing. 1. I was told I need to make some changes to my essay. In this example, do we know who told the writer they need to make changes to their essay? No, we're left wondering who. Do we know what changes they need to make or what the essay is about? No. Number 2, they seemed to want another option. In the second example, do we have any idea who they are or which options they currently have? No, we don't. And because of the word seem to, we don't even know whether they actually want another option. Why is it important to be clearer and specific? The goal of writing is clear communication. Vague writing is hard to understand and often ineffective, whereas clear, specific writing communicates effectively and is stronger as a result. Clear language makes your writing more convincing and authoritative, especially when persuading or defending a point. And specific writing is more engaging for readers, with details that create a fuller picture and improve understanding. To avoid vague writing, use specific language or examples. Proofread your work to remove undetailed language and filler words such as very, really, just, totally, basically, like, well, or due to the fact that. Sometimes these words are necessary, but in many cases they aren't. When your writing is clear, you need fewer words to communicate your point. If you can say something clearly in 5 words, don't use 10. And use the right amount of information to make your point. Too little leaves the reader with questions, too much confuses your purpose. Word choice is a key ingredient for strong writing. Typically, the most effective words are the most specific. Compare these sentences. I'm taking a writing course next fall. I'm taking a creative writing course next fall. I'm taking a screenplay writing course next fall. I'm taking intermediate screenplay workshop next fall. Notice how much more information you can communicate by choosing more specific words. The first sentence isn't incorrect, but it is vague. In academic and professional writing, using specific vocabulary reduces your likelihood of being misunderstood and having your words misinterpreted by your reader, or raising questions about what you meant. In fiction and personal writing, word choice can also make your writing feel richer. A logically organized and consistent paragraph structure also makes your writing clear. This is especially important when writing a larger piece such as a paper. Focusing each paragraph on a specific idea and related explanation or evidence helps readers understand your paper's purpose and how its parts fit together to create a logical argument. Outlining your work before you write is helpful. It acts as a map, highlighting key points and showing the path from introduction to conclusion. Here's an example of a template or a graphic organizer you could use to help you outline a paragraph before you write. You can find a link in the references section at the end of this presentation. Let's get some practice avoiding being vague. Is each sentence vague or clear and specific? 1. Please have that project done as soon as possible for the next meeting. 2. Last semester, my essay on symbolism in romantic poetry won an English department award. Let's check your answers. If you thought sentence 1 is vague, you're correct, because we don't know which project or the specific due date. However, sentence 2 is clear and specific. Now can you rewrite the sentence to be clearer and more specific? Number 1. Please have that project done as soon as possible for the next meeting. When rewriting your sentence, you can consider details about the project, a specific deadline, and who the next meeting is with or what it's about. Here's one possible answer. Please have the grant proposal for the National Endowment for the Arts ready by this Thursday for Friday's meeting with the gallery director. Another common writing error is being inconsistent. What is inconsistency in writing? Consistency is important for good and accurate writing. It includes grammar, style, formatting, and tone. Why is consistency in writing important? Without consistent writing style, readers may struggle to follow the flow of ideas and engage with the content. Keeping grammar consistent helps with clarity. Inconsistent punctuation, verb tense, or sentence structure can confuse readers and break the flow. Consistent style is essential as well. Style is the way an author expresses themselves through their writing and includes things like the words the author chooses, the way they structure their sentences, and their tone or attitude. A changing style can distract readers and make it hard to connect with the author's voice. In the workplace, consistency and clarity are important so that the receiver can understand the message quickly and accurately. Many emails are sent and received every day, and we are often busy. Being able to skim and scan emails becomes very important. There are many ways you can avoid inconsistent writing. Fixing inconsistencies in writing involves proofreading and editing. Review your text carefully, reading aloud to catch grammar, style, and tone errors. Identify common mistakes. Seeking feedback. Visit the Writing Center for guidance. They won't edit for you, but will highlight unclear areas. Consistency checks. Ensure uniform terminology, punctuation, and formatting. Revising in stages. Tackle one aspect at a time. For example, grammar, then tone, then formatting to stay focused. It can also help to take breaks. If you've been writing for a while, your brain might need a break so that you can edit your writing with a clear mind. To avoid inconsistent grammar, do you know what your most common grammatical errors are? Some common errors include jumps in verb tense. Only use past tenses to describe finished actions in the past. Do not use present tenses for this. Another common error is not being parallel. For example, if you are naming items in a list, they must be equal, as in noun, 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 or verb, verb, verb. A third common grammatical mistake is when subjects and verbs don't agree. For example, a sentence that says, "The student who have the most votes wins the election." The subject is students plural, so the verb must be plural, win. If you would like more information about common grammar errors, check out our Common Writing Errors Part 1 and Part 2 workshops on the EAL Support YouTube channel. It's important to proofread and edit for consistent grammar. Using checklists with your common errors and reading your work aloud can help to catch errors. You can also ask a classmate or coworker to take a second look at your writing for added help and a fresh perspective. To avoid inconsistent style, follow the rule of repetition. Repeat visual and textual elements such as fonts, colors, and style to maintain continuity and show relationships. For example, you may notice that in this PowerPoint presentation, all the font is Arial. I only changed the sizes and colors for the font to differ between headings and main points. The headings are in size 48-point font in blue, and the main points are in 28-point font in black. I used bullet points consistently for every main point on each slide. I have also used APA style to format citations for sources. You can use templates for resumes, PowerPoint presentations, etc. to ensure that basic design elements like font size, style, color, image size, and alignment are consistent from page to page or slide to slide. Use a style guide or handbook and ensure that all writers in a group project follow it to improve document consistency. NSCC officially uses APA 7th edition. Inconsistent tone in writing occurs when the mood or attitude shifts unexpectedly. For example, suddenly shifting from a warm tone to a cold scientific one. When you write a text, it is important to know what tone you want to express. Then review your text to ensure you do not have shifts in formality. For example, switching between casual and academic language. Changes in emotional tone. For instance, going from serious to humorous without a clear reason. Or inconsistent point of view, such as switching between first and third person. Reading aloud or having someone read your text out loud for you can be especially helpful for catching unnecessary shifts in tone. Let's practice avoiding inconsistencies. Compare sentences A to C. Which is inconsistent? A. During the movie, Sam stood up and drops his popcorn. B. During the movie, Sam stood up and dropped his popcorn. C. During the movie, Sam stands up and drops his popcorn. Sentence A is inconsistent. The first verb is past and the second is present. But since there is no indication that the actions happened apart from one another, there is no reason to shift from the past tense to the present tense for the second verb. Sentences B and C are consistent. Both verbs in B are past tense, and both verbs in C are present tense. Now take a minute to read and compare sentences A to C. Which is inconsistent? Sentence B is inconsistent because in the first sentence, the full month and the ordinal date, August 7th, are used. But in the second sentence, only the cardinal number date 25 and the abbreviated month Aug are used. For more practice avoiding inconsistencies, compare these text messages to a friend. Which one has inconsistent tone? Text A. Hey, just wanted to check if we're still on for lunch tomorrow at 1. Let me know where you want to meet. Looking forward to it. Text B. Hey, just wanted to check if we're still on for lunch tomorrow at 1. Kindly confirm at your earliest convenience. Looking forward to our engagement. Text A is consistent. The tone is casual and friendly from start to finish. Text B is inconsistent. The first sentence is casual, but the second part sounds overly formal, making the tone feel unnatural. Compare the work experience section of the following resumes. Which one is consistent? What advice for avoiding inconsistencies in writing is followed? Take a moment to review resume A. Now compare with resume B. Is resume A or B consistent? Resume A has many inconsistencies, as highlighted here. In resume A, bullet points are used inconsistently for formatting the first job, but not for the second. Punctuation, like using periods or full stops after some points but not others, is also inconsistent. Some of the fonts are different, and the grammar is not parallel. Resume B is consistent. The same font size and type has been used throughout. Bold font is used for headings. Bullet points are used before each detail. The way the addresses and dates are formatted is the same for both jobs. Parallel grammar has been used to list all job tasks and skills. Verb tense has been used consistently to describe current and past work. Another common writing error is wordiness. Trying to sound more formal, some writers overcomplicate their language, making it wordy and hard to read. This is called wordiness. Compare A and B. Which one is easier to read? A. The achievement of good performance. B. Performing well. B is easier to read. A is too wordy and doesn't sound any more impressive compared to simply saying B, which is more concise. To avoid wordiness in writing, replace noun-heavy phrases with strong, straightforward verbs to make your writing clearer and more concise. For example, the carrying out of tests can be simplified to testing. Be cautious with phrases like took place, which often hide the action in unnecessary nouns. For example, analysis of the figures took place is better as the figures were analyzed. And eliminate redundancy. For instance, blue in color simply means blue, and simple in nature is just simple. For practice, revise these sentences to be less wordy. Try expressing their meaning in fewer words. Avoid passive voice, needless repetition, and wordy phrases and clauses. Number 1. Trouble is caused when people disobey rules that have been established for the safety of all. Number 2. If the two groups cooperate together, there will definitely be positive benefits for both. Here are some possible answers. 1. Disobeying safety regulations causes trouble. 2. If the two groups cooperate, both will benefit. To review, here are some things to think about and take away with you. Try to avoid common writing errors, including being vague or not clear and specific enough, inconsistencies, and wordiness. Draft and revise your writing. Seek feedback. You can get this by making an appointment with the NSCC Writing Center. Reflect on and use feedback. Proofread and self-edit your written work with these 3 common errors in mind, focusing on one at a time before you submit your written work to your instructor. Thank you for listening to the workshop. If you need further clarification or to practice these skills, please book an appointment with an EAL support specialist or the Writing Center. Resources and references will now follow. There are many available resources for NSCC students. Please take some time to explore them. Visit the NSCC EAL supports page to view the schedules for upcoming EAL workshops, conversation circles, and to book an appointment with an EAL support specialist. Use the EAL guide for additional resources to help you with your language learning. Use NSCC's writing guide for tips, advice, and information for all your writing needs. You can find all these resources and more on the EAL Supports Connect page and link on the screen. Connect is NSCC's intranet and requires your NSCCW number and login.